Hi there, Darren here. Hope you are doing well. Now, within this very quick presentation, tutorial, call it what you like, we're going to jump into something called Climate. This is our Climate Studio, if you like. It's just a place where you can upload a climate file. Now, the reason we're bringing this in now is because we've got a lot more climate-related stuff coming on the platform, including future climate weather files. So let's treat this as a bit of an introduction to a feature set of tools that you can see over here on the left-hand side. Okay. Now, in terms of what you want to do, you want to effectively find a .epw file. If you don't know where one is, excuse me, there you go. You can go and click on one of these links. It's going to take you to a region, and that region is going to have a whole heap of climate files in it, and you can go and download it to your local computer and then upload it. I'm going to go ahead and choose a file on my local computer, and we'll use that as a point of reference. So here we are on the overview page. You could perceive this as a dashboard page. I've brought in an Auckland, New Zealand climate file. So there it is there, the long verbose naming convention. And you can go ahead and see the tri-bulb and the relative humidity. This is just a presentation of some of the high level information that's available in that particular weather file. You can explore the data, review, look at the actual hourly records and look at heat maps. You can look at thermal comfort from a design day perspective, from a comfort or psychometric perspective, or you could look at sun, wind and moisture, the sky, drying potential and interior climate. Now I'm going to focus on the explore data to start with. If you want to navigate from here, you can. If you want to navigate from here, you can. You can see up in the top right hand corner we have a data review, 1 error found, and that gives us a clue as to what our first step is to review the data. Left clicking, we find ourselves in a quite a stark screen here to start with. We're presenting a error, but let's swing to the positive and first of all look at all the things that have effectively passed some internal processing. We've looked at the completeness of the data, any repetition, the physical ranges presented in data, and so on. All of these have met minimum requirements. From a notes perspective, there are no notes. From a warnings perspective, guess what? There are none. From an errors perspective, which we started on, we can see an error pertaining to radiation. What does it state? Well, it says radiation while the sun is down. There are 69 hours of global radiation above 25 watt-hours per meter squared when the sun is more than 3 degrees below the horizon. So it's a bit of a peculiar one, but it's a type of thing that you will see in climate files. They are highly variable and they are subject to both, review errors, but also just inconsistencies in general. It's quite a complex space. So you want to get comfortable with your file. And once you are, you can then jump into the more details of the file. So here we are in the table. The table, what does it show us? Well, it shows us a table of many of the many of the data points within the file itself. So you can go through and scan through those should you want to and export that out. Really easy to do so. Just go ahead, click that button, copy and paste, bring it into a Excel, etc. It's up to you. You can look at solar and twilight information. Up to yourself if you want to know effectively what the nautical data is. Ignore that. For January, you can go ahead and grab it there from a sunrise or sunset perspective. Now, the other thing you can look at is some EPW statistics. Again, this provides you with a bit of a meaningful overview of the climate that you're focused on, and it can be helpful to compare climates at a very, very high level. We default to these last two, EPW statistics and solar and twilight, to be hidden, because they're not going to be generally the first point of call that you want to review. Next up, and just to complete this, I'm going to explore the data, and we've gone through review table, and now I'm going to jump into heat maps. So this is where things get a wee bit more colourful. We need a bit of colour in our life. And we can go ahead and filter through dry bulb, global, direct, diffuse, humidity, wind, and of course precipitation. Okay, so once we're happy with what we're looking at, we can then control the view of that. Should you want to go ahead and choose a different color scheme, please by all means go for it. I quite like this one. Or you could be really specific and choose something pertaining to your brand. Have we missed a trick here? Maybe, maybe not. But if I wanted to go ahead and copy effectively something like the Better Building branding, I could do that. Or you could copy the branding of the company that you work for or your company and then update that to get a different view. This can be really handy from a presentation perspective. You can auto the range or manually override it should you want. There's a lot of control there. You can invert, remove the lines or the gaps. Not quite sure why we called them gaps. Remove the values and toggle the hours. So you flip from 24, the 24th hour being at the bottom to the 24th hour being at the top. You can look at typical year, hourly, typical week, or weekly. Well, that gets a bit crazy. So this is where you probably want to start tidying things up a little bit to make more sense of it. And of course, you can hover over every data point there as well. You can look at the mean, the sum, the min, and the max. And importantly, you can get an overview of what's actually happening in the scene that you're looking at here. This is the scene. And if you jump around here, you'll see that the information here is just summarizing effectively what we can see over here. So this has a nod, a strong nod to some workflows that have now disappeared in the world of sustainable design. And that's where I'm going to leave this very quick introduction. Next up, we're going to look at thermal and comfort. So hopefully I've enticed you to listen in to that one. Thanks a million. Bye-bye.